Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be like a Thanksgiving style recipe video. This is just like how my southern family makes Thanksgiving. This is obviously not everything. Normally we have like sweet potato casserole and some other stuff, but I just wanted to show you a few basics that we always have every year. First up, I'm going to be making the cornbread for the cornbread dressing, and I just put a little bit of olive oil and about half a tablespoon of butter into a skillet, and I'm going to pop that into my oven while it preheats. And then I'm going to add my flour and cornmeal. I did about half a cup of flour and a cup and a half of cornmeal, and then I'm going to add in some buttermilk, and I like to use the cultured buttermilk instead of keeping buttermilk in my refrigerator. This just lasts longer. I always have it on hand. I don't use buttermilk a whole lot, but I used about a cup of buttermilk, and then I'm going to crack in 2 eggs and just get that all mixed up real well. Make a mess with the eggs as always, but just get that mixed up and everything combined. Once my oven has come to temperature at about 400 degrees, I'm going to pull it out and spread all the butter and oil around. You want to make sure your pan is evenly coated so that the cornbread doesn't stick to the pan, but also so that it gets a good crust on the bottom, because it just adds so much flavor to the cornbread. I feel like it's really one of my favorite parts. But once your oil is all spread around, you're just going to add your batter straight on into your hot pan, and it will sizzle a little. That's normal. This pan wasn't as hot as it could have been because I stuck it in too late. I like to stick it in the cold oven and then wait until it's completely preheated, but you know, sometimes things just don't work like that. It still turned out really good, but you're just dumping your batter in, spreading it all around, and then you're going to put it in your oven for about 20 minutes or so. And this is the cornbread all finished. I like to make my cornbread either the morning if I'm making the dressing at night, or the day before, just so it dries out. It gives a better consistency. But now on to making the dressing. I have 1 whole onion chopped and about 2 stalks of celery chopped. I'm just going to put those in the same cornbread skillet that I used a few hours ago, and some oil, and just sweat the onions and celery down. I like to add color to mine. Some people don't like to add color. They just like to sweat them out. I like to saute them. I think it deepens the flavor, and I just really like doing it that way. Once your vegetables are done, you're going to go ahead and add your cornbread to a pan and crumble it all up. I just use my hands. I like some big pieces and some fine pieces, but then I'm going to add a little bit of rubbed sage. It just adds great flavor to it. You can also add like poultry seasoning or whatever seasonings you like. And then I'm going to go pretty heavy with some garlic powder. You can add fresh minced garlic to your vegetables if that's what you want to do. But here I'm adding chicken bouillon. I like to use chicken bouillon instead of chicken stock. And you just add your vegetables on in, mix all that together. And then I'm going to start adding my water to this. Again, you can use chicken stock. I just add as much chicken bouillon to water. It's a 1 teaspoon to 1 cup ratio. But just getting everything mixed together and real well. And then I'm going to start with 1 cup of water. Usually I like to start with 2 to 3 cups of water, but just for the purposes of this video, I was going really slow. But you're just going to mix everything together until you get to the right consistency. You want it not soupy, but really wet and well combined, and everything to kind of stick together, if you know what I mean. It's just one of those trial and error until you get the right consistency that you're looking for. The amount of stock that you use is going to directly depend on how dry your cornbread is. I ended up using about 4 cups of chicken stock, and that came out perfect for my dressing. But like I said, it just depends on how dry your cornbread is. If you make your cornbread fresh and it's still really moist, you're not going to need as much water. But if you leave your cornbread on the counter for a few days, it's going to be a lot drier and need more water. So now I'm moving on to the mac and cheese. I have my chicken stock boiling in the top left corner, and I'm going to make my bechamel for the cheese sauce. I just did about a 1/4 cup of butter to a 1/4 cup of flour. I'm just going to stir that together, keep it moving so it doesn't burn, and you're just cooking out the flour taste here. And this is what's going to thicken your cheese sauce while keeping it really smooth. So once the flour taste is cooked out, I'm going to add about 3 cups of milk, slowly, very slowly, about 1/3 cup at a time, because if you add too much too fast, it'll get clumpy and it won't be as smooth. So you want to add it really slowly and make sure everything gets incorporated every time you add some and mix it together. Once I have all my milk in, I'm going to go ahead and season this. I added some salt and then some garlic powder and onion powder. You can add whatever seasonings you like. I do add some paprika on the top of mine just for a little bit of color. But like I said, you can add whatever seasonings you like. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in my cheese. I have 8 ounces of extra sharp cheddar cheese and 8 ounces of Gouda cheese. You can use whatever cheeses you like. I really like sharp cheddar and mild cheddar together, but I also really like this Gouda blend. I mean, it's just whatever. At this point, my heat is off and I'm just making sure all that cheese is melted and combined. And then to your greased pan, you're going to add your entire box of cooked macaroni, 16 ounces, and then you're going to add in your cheese sauce and mix everything really well. I should have mentioned when I was making the cheese sauce, you can leave out some cheese to put on top of your macaroni and cheese. I was very distracted whenever I was making this and accidentally added it all. I do really like the cheese on top, but this turned out really good as well. So like I said, I'm going to add, I did add some Parmesan. I forgot about that, but that's optional. And then I'm going to add some paprika to the top just to give it a little bit of color. It doesn't really add a whole lot of flavor. But now on to the green bean casserole. It's just a simple traditional green bean casserole. I have 2 cans of green beans, a can of cream of mushroom, a can of milk, and I'm just going to mix everything really well together and then top it with the French's onions. Once I had all 3 dishes assembled, I'm going to put it in the oven at 375, all 3 of them at the same time, at 375 for about 30 to 45 minutes, just until everything was cooked through, hot, bubbly, you know, the deal. Now, instead of turkey, I ended up making some chicken breast in the air fryer, and y'all, these were so good. I just made like a seasoned butter to rub on the outside of them. Just added a whole bunch of seasonings. I'll have a recipe link below that I went off of, but just mix everything together, coat the chicken in that, put it in the air fryer, flip it halfway. It was so good. I'll have the directions and temperatures and times and stuff linked in the recipe below, but I just wanted to kind of quickly show you the process of what I did. And this is everything out of the oven: the mac and cheese, the green bean casserole, the cornbread dressing. I did make a chicken gravy to go over the dressing and the chicken, and it was really good. It's just a simple gravy. I'll have a recipe link down below. But everything turned out so good. This mac and cheese was so creamy. Some people prefer an egg mac and cheese. I really love the creamy mac and cheese, but this is everything. Like I said, it was so good. My family loved it, and I really hope you get some good inspiration for some Thanksgiving dinners, just a time to celebrate with your family. There will not be a video next Thursday because it is Thanksgiving, but I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for being here. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.